Good afternoon. This is Deb Amlen for the New York Times, and welcome back to Crosswords Live. It's Thursday, so it must be time to solve a puzzle. I'm here with my solving partner, Sam Ezersky.
Good to be back.
Yep.
But
good
more
to be back,
importantly,
and Happy New Year. But much more importantly, we have a very special guest today, the writer-producer of HBO's Chernobyl and winner of many awards, Craig Mazin. Hey, Craig.
Hi, I didn't
Hi.
see you
Could
there.
Yes. Would you put the award down, please?
It's okay if I must.
Yes. Well, thank you for being with us.
I'm so excited. I'm excited on multiple levels. First, to be talking to you guys because I'm a big crossword, New York Times crossword nerd, so I know both of you. But
Nerds
also,
rule.
I have because of this, I have not yet solved or even looked at the puzzle. Freaking out because I'm a solve it the night before kind of person. So this is very good. I'm very glad we're going now.
And we're happy too. We're gonna hold you back just a little while longer because
Sure.
we have, and we know you're chomping at the bit. This is a terrific puzzle today. It is. If you look at the grid, it's. You see some things that definitely tell you that something is up here today. But before we do that, I wanted to ask you, Craig, how did you get into solving puzzles?
Almost assuredly, it's because of my dad. He was a public school. He taught American history in New York City public school education system for 30 years, and he was. I don't know if he was a daily solver, but he would always solve the Sunday New York Times crossword puzzle. So we were paper subscribers because there was no alternative to that.
Right.
And the Sunday Times magazine would come and he would go right to that puzzle. And as a kid, I remember just being terrified of it. I mean, the thought of what he was doing, none of it made any sense. None of it seemed possible.
Right.
That was probably you as well. And then when I was in college, I had a job in college to help pay off the loans and things. And I worked at the architecture library. I was not an architecture student, but that's where they put me.
Okay.
And, my friend Alexis would come by to visit me because it was very boring. And just to help pass the time, we started attempting to do the Sunday Times crossword puzzle. So I was about 19, I think.
That's a perfect age.
It was a struggle at first. I remember, but we would get there, but it would take us about an hour.
Right.
And that kind of began the process. And now, for a Sunday, I'm now down to about, 14 minutes or something like that.
Whoa. What would you say?
Yeah.
Is your
All right.
What's your average Thursday time, would you say?
Average Thursday time. Well, Thursday's a weird one because I can give you an average, but I have a feeling there's a lot of standard deviation going on there because of the weirdness of Thursday. But usually 8 minutes.
That's amazing.
No big
That's
deal.
Amazing.
Just
By the
casual.
way, the constructor,
compared to
the constructor David Kwong is in our comments right now, telling people what a horrible person you are.
He says
And
he
that
taught you everything.
Yes, and that he taught you everything.
I will say this much about David. He actually has taught me everything about crossword constructing. He
Hey.
really is an amazing constructor. When I first met David, I instantly fell in love with him because he was a crossword constructor and he shared with me he did I think it was a Halloween themed puzzle that was published in the New York Times where there were mirrored options and Dracula's mirrored option had blank in it because vampires don't have enough. It's so smart. But when it comes to solving, he's awful. Just awful.
Right.
It's so clumsy.
How
Did
is
you hear
he-
that, Dequan?
How is he as a magician?
Well,
No,
he's-
you know what? Don't answer that.
He's
We're
a world-class magician. And
Yes.
if people haven't seen the most amazing thing he does, Will Shorts has a video on YouTube where he kind of sets up this trick that David does that involves standard kind of card magic combined with creating a crossword puzzle in front of people live, which is insane.
Right.
And then I won't spoil the
Yeah,
ending.
don't spoil it. We have had David on here, and he did a couple of magic tricks which really wowed us. But we're going to. This is not about David. Although he would be mad at me if I didn't at least mention his show, The Enigmatist, which is playing at the Highline Hotel,
And soon the Geffen Theater in
and
Los
soon the
Angeles.
Geffen Theater in L.A.
It is an amazing show. People should absolutely see that show.
It is. Anyway, let's get into the puzzle.
Without further ado,
because I know that you're
I'm
drooling.
dying.
You're drooling. So, where do you normally start in a puzzle like this? There are no fill in the blanks. Do you have any gimmies?
Well, do I get to see the puzzle? Because I can't see
yeah, we're
it.
just going to have to jump around on the window, Deb.
Oh.
Because that's where Craig's out here solving right with us. So, I mean,
Okay.
Normally, I can't imagine unless there's something very bizarre going on the grid. I would start right in the northwest corner with one across, one down.
Okay. All right. You don't have the puzzle up on your computer?
I can get it up on my computer, sure.
There you go. There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
But let's start. We'll start with one across. It's a 6-letter word for IT support desk service.
IT support desk service. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get to. I don't even know how long it is. I'm going to.
Six
it's
letters.
Saunders. He's good.
Yes,
okay,
he is.
This is really interesting. So, first things first.
Yeah. Tell us what's the first thing you notice about this grid?
Not rotationally symmetrical.
it is
Not.
not. That's the constructor brain. I see you. I
Yes.
see you.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, first thing I notice is it's not rotationally symmetrical, and the second thing I notice is that there's a clear pattern. Now, it may not pan out that this is important, but
Maybe
what I
not.
see is 4 T shapes and a plus sign. I also see minus signs. This could be math. If I nail this, if I get this theme just off the shapes, I want a prize.
we'll let you keep the Emmy.
Blind guess. I think 4 T's, 40. I'm just thinking 40. That's all.
Okay.
I'm
All
just,
right.
All right, that's a good guess. Let's keep going. Do you have the puzzle in front of you?
Yeah, I do. So IT support desk service. Well, genius possibly, like a genius bar, but I don't like it.
I don't either. But you know what? We usually encourage people to go to things that they know for sure, the gimmies.
Well, just going right across in that column, 7 across, down goes Fraser is
Yeah.
Coast.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's 7 down.
That is
Oh,
seven
that's
down.
7 down.
Across.
No, it's across.
One
It's
across.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good, Craig.
You're fine.
We're just making sure that
I'm
we're
just-
typing this in well.
I haven't had enough coffee
Because
today.
our solvers are watching us. They're watching our
Yes.
every move.
And they will tell us. Oh, a lot of people are commenting. They're very
Yes.
glad you're here.
We
David
have-
Kwong is still complaining, but and somebody wants to know where Paul Krugman is for. I think you're lost, Rachel or Richard. Sorry.
Paul Krugman will be in later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a tough act to follow, though.
Absolutely.
Let's see. I was actually thinking, Craig, Deb, do you want to go to 21 across?
I would be happy to go to
If
20.
you
And
suggest,
Curry.
3
3 letters.
that's Tim.
Absolutely.
But it's that. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on. I see what's happening. So, okay, this is
Okay.
exciting. So in a Thursday puzzle, almost every Thursday puzzle, there is a moment where I am wrong and therefore right. That's the way I look at it.
Okay.
Where you go,
Those are
I
good words to follow.
Yes.
fit in the grid, therefore it does fit in the grid. Something's going on. There's trickery here. So when you see blank and blank in a
Yes.
puzzle, that's implying a plural.
It
If
is.
it was Cook or Curry, it would be Tim.
Exactly,
But this
for
is
Tim Cook and
Curry.
Tim Curry.
It's Tim's. Well, you can't fit Tim's into 3 letters unless you take that T shape.
Oh.
Do we want
Wait,
to
this, okay,
do
well,
we want to
this
try
is all
his theory?
done.
Do we want to try his theory?
Let's try his theory. Okay, so we'll start with the T. That's the T shape with that is made from the black squares, and let's put in
love-
Tim's. Let's see where you go with that.
This could be
Okay.
really
Okay.
fun or really fun.
Or just a disaster.
Well, I'm having a lot of fun right now.
Exactly. There's no two
Okay.
ways about it.
Now here's an old joke. They leave in the spring. Are you playing a
yes.
tiny violin? Oh,
That's yeah. So that's the theory is good because the answer to that surely is trees,
exactly.
and so we make it. Oh, that actually looks great too. I gotta
It
say,
does.
Yeah.
looks really. David Kwong, because he's probably watching and he's just
Oh,
jealous.
he's definitely
Just
one. He's
jealous.
He's very jealous.
I don't know if it was in the New York Times or not, but there's a clump of black squares that are roughly in the shape of Utah, I believe.
Oh, that was a New York Times crossword.
Yes,
Indeed.
absolutely.
Indeed.
By the way, we just want to hop in here and say that one of our commenters,
Firehorse Girlie says, hello. Feels wrong to say I loved Chernobyl upside down.
Well, but I think she's referring to your show.
Yes,
and
no,
it's
of
well
course.
deserved.
It does feel wrong to me too, but thank you very
Yes.
much. I always say to people, thank you for watching it.
Yes.
It's hard for me to say I'm glad you enjoyed it because
Right.
that feels weird.
Right.
But yes, thank you, Fire Horse
Girly.
1000.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Let's see up here.
If we
Leave this to me.
Which give me
at
you give me
eight, at
number
8 down.
four.
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm sorry, 8 down.
8 down.
Okay, leave this. Okay, now, all right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It gets better.
Alex Eaton Salner's hat tip because
Yes.
I was not expecting this. So, and I'm now kind of curious if it's
We
in
never
all
do.
directions. I figured, okay, Tim's and trees. We've got the T in the first position.
Right.
It's going across that. But what he's doing is he's also using the T as the end of the word, so that's going to be on it,
Very good.
and that's O-N-I, and then
Oops, I'm
T.
sorry.
This looks
Yeah, we don't
so
type T's into
Yes,
this puzzle.
no.
Or do we?
God
Or do
forbid.
we?
Oh, hold on a second. If there is a stray T, I will be bummed. I will be bummed.
You know, you can't have everything. Correct?
There's only
We're-
one constructor
we're
I know
trying.
that is a magician.
Right.
You know, but most constructors
Although
aren't.
Alex is a very good Thursday constructor.
He is. This
really
Alex
is.
has had.
Okay.
Alex has had 13 Thursday crosswords in the top.
I also want to say that I think this sets a record for guest solvers figuring out what the theme is.
Yeah, this Craig.
That was
we
what,
got
6
you.
seconds?
This was extremely impressive.
Okay. So
Well, listen, you steered me. You made a mistake because if you wanted this to last, sending me to 21 across was a huge mistake because
or
it
did
was,
I?
Or did we? How about? Do we want to jump right to 9 down, right next to it?
Oh, there we
Since
go.
we know that's S blank blank
Religious group.
T.
So there we go. He's going to be doing the same thing again. That's sect.
Very good. Very good.
Now,
And you know what?
What?
Now this is interesting. I don't know if this is going to hold through, and these could be kind of funky. Well, SEC is a word on its own without the T,
It is.
as is IMS, IMs.
Right?
Reese, I think,
be a
isn't that.
name.
Well, yeah, Jacob Reese was RIIS, right? I think so. I'm not sure about Reese and an Oni.
I know from old crosswords that is the clandestine maritime organization.
Oh my
ONI.
God.
Wow.
Something naval something.
There you
It'll
go.
be interesting to see if these are also proper entries without the T. But that was again.
would be.
Now I'm really asking a lot from Alex.
All right, now let's test your Latin.
10 down.
Part 10 down. Part of the conjugation of the Latin S.
So now I have to tip my hat to that clue
Okay.
because if people haven't figured out that T shape is completing the words, they're going to put in est, is my guess, for id est, as in that is E.
Yes.
But in this case, it's going to be erat.
Yes.
Wow. Very good.
No problems here.
Oops. Why do
And
I
that
keep doing
so
that?
erat from QED, quad erat demonstratum, and era is a word. So I'm kind of like I'm pulling for these things being words. I'm very excited. This is
That
great.
is okay. Well, let's see. Let's keep going. We're on a roll now. We may occasionally take some guesses from solvers.
I'll be monitoring
but
that.
this is
Great.
all you, Craig. Okay, so
11 down. We're just gonna keep moving
let's,
along here.
Let's stick with this quad. Permissive, starting
Looks
with an
like-
L.
Lenient, I would imagine.
Very good.
Do you feel let down now?
We told you this was a hard one.
No, I know. Here's the thing. This is such a good idea for a puzzle, and the way he's doing this is actually really hard to construct. I can see how this is
yeah.
really tricky. So what I'm interested in, because I don't know how it's going to work out, is how else do the T's work, and what's the deal with that plus in the middle? That plus in the middle may just be to kind of hold it all together.
It could be.
But
Well, if you'd
But-
like, we can jump to 19 across to the left of
right.
Ims
Let's
or
try
Tims. And
Now
then
we're
maybe
kinda-
that'll give you a few ideas.
Characteristic. Ooh, 3
guess what?
letters, man.
guess what?
Yeah.
AI, trait.
R
Is-
A I. That's right. T.
You're loving this, and so are we. This is fantastic.
And I think our viewers are liking it too, because
our viewers want us to go to 12 down, actually,
12
right
down?
next to lenient.
Okay.
This is a good one. Captain's plea.
Oh, sure. Okay. So, what's that? What's the old hymnal where it's like, let my people go? But this was just
Passover
let
came
me
early.
go.
Right.
There you go.
Exactly. There you go. I could go out to lunch right now, and Craig could do this whole thing.
Exactly.
So,
I'll keep
this
watching
is
the
great. And if
comments.
we solve quickly enough, Craig has been very kind enough to say that he will do an AMA and Ask Me Anything. So please stay tuned for us, because Craig has said you can ask him anything, which is basically what AMA
Anything.
is.
And Craig is making sure we're solving quickly,
Yes.
too.
Well,
I'm
absolutely.
looking at 14 across. I'm avoiding the clue right now, and I'm just trying to think, what would that be? That's a really weird collection of letters.
It is.
This one, I'll say, was not my favorite answer in the puzzle, but in such a gimmicky theme like this, there are bound to be compromises.
Well,
sometimes
should I
you
cheat
just
and look at the clue? I'll look at the clue.
There are no cheating in crosswords.
well, not only that, but I can't think that looking at the clue is in any form or any universe
Well, I
cheating.
always think about the late, great Henry Hook, who was, one of the all-time great crossword constructors, and someone, I can't remember who it was, he worked for the Boston
Globe.
Yes.
And someone had constructed a puzzle and raced Henry Hook to solve the puzzle that this person had made, and Henry Hook beat them.
Wow.
Which means he's not even looking at clues at some point. He's just filling patterns in based on what it has to be. It's amazing.
Right.
I'm not Henry Hook. I needed to look at the clue here. Like Looney Tunes theatrically, I think that's going to be one reel.
There you have it.
There you go.
I guess
Very
the clue,
good.
makes it
That's
evocative.
the filmmaker in you.
Less arbitrary.
Absolutely. Let's check that. Let's look at the down. What some
7
say
down?
God is to them.
What some say God is to them. Oh.
You might see it on a bumper sticker.
Well, this is my my blind spot clearly
That's
is
okay.
religion. It's
Or
my
bumper stickers.
I'm soulless. Yeah, or bumpers. Well, should we try 17 across and see if that's
Absolutely can. Spicy.
So this would be picante, I think.
Very good.
You got it.
Which is interesting because I never think of picante as picante counts as an English word for spicy. Mm-hmm. Right? Because they would clue it specifically to say Spanish, right? If it were. So we get to use picante now. We borrowed that.
Right.
I think that's, at least as far as the editorial side is concerned, that was our thinking too.
Yes.
Is that it's just entered the English lexicon enough. You don't need a qualifier.
It's good enough.
Let's go back to. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that reveals 7 down. That's a very good clue. What some say God is them. God is my co-pilot.
Exactly. Very good.
I love that trait. Look at that. That's just great.
Isn't it? Let's take a look
We
at
can
another
even,
one.
24 across.
Okay.
Baby in a rare birth.
And several solvers are saying they had quint for this one first before
know
they
what?
knew what the theme was.
That's even
rarer.
rarer.
That's a perfectly cromulent guess.
It is. Thank
Unfortunately,
you.
that in this puzzle would end up being to quinta. So
If you understand the theme, if you think it's just a regular grid, you might write quint.
Yes.
so it's triplet.
It is.
And I think our run of real words has fallen because I don't think ripple.
You are correct. You are correct. It works mostly though.
It could be.
Mostly.
Alex tried.
You need to put it in a TV show or a movie, and then
Right.
we'll
Yeah.
write to Merriam-Webster.
Please name a future character in one of
Rifle.
your shows, Eno or something like that.
Okay.
We're always looking for new Enos.
You guys are really good at understanding how crosswords are created and constructed, and you know that some words and some names are really valuable. Like, you must have just rejoiced when Issa Rae had a show on HBO and became really popular.
Oh my gosh.
The more vowels, the better.
Don't you think that somewhere along the line, Mazin, maybe in some sort of pangramish puzzled? I mean, doesn't it feel like...
Well, with all those awards, I bet you don't have a very long wait.
I will do my best.
Yes. You've challenge accepted, according to Sam.
Do my best.
Yes.
A lot of angry email.
And with that Z, absolutely.
I'm sorry, who?
Yeah.
Well,
but
should we
yeah,
try 28 across and finish
Sure.
this
28, right below
20.
Ripple.
There you go. Harbor site.
harbor site? Tugboat. No.
Ooh.
Yes, tugboat.
Let's put it
You're
in.
quick.
The worst thing that could happen is that it's a mistake. and
I
we
don't
take
think
it out.
Ugboa is a word.
Tugboat should be a word.
It is. How about this one? 29 across. Last letter in the letter in the last third of the NATO alphabet.
Tango.
There you go.
Certainly helps that you know what letter it is given
Yes.
the T. So
And now this one here, 15 across textbook unit.
15 down.
Down.
I'm sorry, I keep forgetting.
You're good.
Well,
I'm
That's
shepherding
basic
along.
Thank
there.
you.
That's okay. Now this is interesting. So that's lesson, and
Yes.
I just noticed that Copilot did give us a T, but that T is tucked into that cross, and now I'm wondering. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that works.
We can go to 32 across.
Yeah.
I imagine you would get
Capital
this
of the
one.
U.S. for 54 days in 1784. Come on, Craig.
I want to tell you that I know this for trivial purposes, but I
Okay.
don't. I just know that if you're looking for a city that's T blank 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 ton, it's Trenton. Every
Absolutely.
time.
Jersey
That's-
represent. Let's go.
Basically,
There we
Are you,
go.
are you a
Basically-
Jersey guy?
I live in Hoboken.
and
so
I live
yes.
in New Jersey as well.
There we go.
I went to
So-
high school in Freehold.
There
Hey,
you go. There you go. All
Monmouth County.
righty.
let's go.
Where should we go next, Craig?
Oh, you know what? I think we should try and maybe head back to that just because I'm a little fussy. I'm that open Northwest is making me nervous.
That's fine.
Like I feel like we should give it love.
All righty, let's do
I'm
it.
down. What any particular clue you want to jump
Oh,
to?
this one messed
The
with me.
13 down. Do you know your spicy Indian fritters?
Well, samosa, I would imagine.
I like
Could be
pakoras,
pakora, right? Could be samosa, pakora.
but it's a plural here with fritters, so we know it's going to end in an S, and we don't
Oh,
have
boy.
enough. We don't have enough letters for pakora or samosa.
This answer, it's its
Sadly.
first time to ever appear in the New York Times
That's
crossword.
right. It's a debut.
It's an interesting.
And we don't have like a rebus where we're jamming papadums in there, so it's not that.
I can assure you that there is no bonus rebus in this puzzle. The
No.
T's were enough of a challenge.
I
Right.
think we may have to work around 13 down. I'm going to put the
Yeah.
S in.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Let's see.
Let's see. How about more than some? For
18 across?
8. Well, that's going to be all.
Oh, okay.
I think. Oh wait, but we've got the T
got
there.
the
It's
T.
most. It's most and samosai. Okay,
You think?
probably
You
not.
think? All right. Let's put in most and see if samosa.
It's not
That's
going to
the
be
plural
samosai.
for samosa.
No, I don't
How
think
about
that's
this?
how that works.
When an opera's musical themes may be established.
One down.
One down. When an opera's
Thank you,
musical
Sam.
things maybe. Well, normally when that's going on, I think it's an act. It's a reference to act, but that O there is tricky. It's not Act 1. It could be Act 1's, but that would be when operas and then
Yes.
apostrophe.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
That would be a wacky
Well,
plural,
we'll
wouldn't it?
move on. Bit of headwear that often has jewels.
2 down.
2 down.
down.
Boy, I'm nothing if not consistent.
This is a tough little area. It's not
It is.
it's not tiara.
So you know what we could do? We could take out most and see if maybe there's another answer.
I don't want to.
Okay, so I'll put that back in. There
I was
you go.
going to say we should try some of the other ones that end in T. Like, how about 5 down?
Oh, five
Five.
down. Okay.
Annual winter spring observance.
There you go.
Okay. Well, usually, there's the winter solstice and the spring solstice,
Yeah.
but that's not going to get us that T there, unless that T's carrying through. Is that possible?
Anything is
No.
possible, Greg. Anything is
Any
possible.
rules in crosswords are meant to be broken.
Yes,
We're consistent until we're inconsistent.
right. Until
this
Will
is
Short says it's not.
This is a
about
this is a
this one?
much tougher
Quiet
corner
night.
for me than the southeast. You see, you guys thought that this was going to take 4 minutes, but
That's
We're confident in you.
this
Well-
one I liked. I liked 4 down.
4 down?
I thought that was a great clue.
Yeah,
Mint-
this
to
is a
mince
nice
words.
groaner. We love our
mince
groaners.
words.
This is and it's got a question mark, so you know that there's wordplay afoot,
Correct. But it ends in a T,
right?
and it's not a plural.
Nope.
So it's verb of mince words, I would think, like to
Yes.
to. Well, it's not parse. Huh. See this? I'm a little stumped.
This
on
is truly
That's
fascinating.
okay.
Honestly.
People get and what do we do when we get stuck? We put the puzzle down and
We go cry.
And we go cry. We have
We
some
do not put the
chocolate
puzzle
and
down.
we don't put the puzzle down. But we do, because you know what? When you come back, you would be surprised how much your brain has worked on it in the background. So time for a question. Has anyone asked Craig a question?
D. Kwong says, "Do you need help?"
Yeah, he asks that a lot.
David.
Decent Jeans just wants to comment that this is amazing.
Cool.
In a good way or a bad way?
Oh, so Alpine Joy's giving a hint.
Alpine Joy thinks that Alpine Joy doesn't think that most is the right answer.
Okay.
All right.
18
Let's
across.
go back to 18 across.
When
Now,
two people tell you you're drunk, lie down. So let's not.
that is, I like that. I think that should be.
I'm
I think
talking
that should
that
be
one
our
away.
motto.
That's wordplay.
There you go.
That's after wordplay every day. We'll
There
be
you go.
operating
Exactly.
on that credo.
All right. fair
So what does Alpine Joy say the answer is?
Do we want to phone friends here, Craig?
I don't know if I want to take that yet, just because I
Okay.
noticed that 27 across clarifying phrase.
The
It may be possible that this is id est. Now, again, could be wrong there, but
I like your thinking.
Yeah.
I endorse it.
Absolutely. This message has been approved.
and I like the I there as the ending letter of the spicy Indian fritter.
Right, that makes
I do too.
sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
so that
so-
may help us with, when an opera's musical themes may be established.
Right.
You know what else we can do? Maybe
Yeah.
this can help us crack into the top left. I'm thinking if we go to 31 down, which is sandwiched between two T's.
A
Principle.
principle is a tenet.
Yes.
Very good.
We love that
There
palindrome
you
in
go.
crosswords. That
Ooh,
really, really helps.
That ripple is really bugging me now, and Ugbo. Well, no, Ugbo is beautiful. I love that.
Ugbo is beautiful.
Yeah, but that ENE is gorgeous.
And
I wonder,
how about this one? Indeed, colloquially.
24 down.
24 down. Thank you.
24 down. Indeed, colloquially. True dat.
There
You go. True
True
dat.
dat.
Very
True
good.
dat.
True dat. We love our crosswords. True dat.
Okay.
Dat. You know what I like about true dat? And so and I have to say the crossword at the Times over the last couple of years has been shaken off some rust. I got to
Thank you.
assume that that things feel a little more inclusive. They feel a little younger. They're getting a little more female. They're getting a little less white. You're starting to get stuff in here that's because look, there are times when I realize a lot of the things I know from crossword puzzles are so, what's the word? Fusty.
Yeah.
A lot of fusty.
Esoteric.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know what? We really appreciate you saying that. A lot of that is due to Sam and Joel Faliano working with Will, and Will's willingness to expand the audience and expand to work on diversity when it comes to constructors and
Right.
solvers. So as we like to say, things change slowly at the New York Times, but they do change.
Indeed.
Change.
We want
Yeah.
our puzzles to be for absolutely everybody out there.
Absolutely.
We were talking about some of the constructors that I look for and that I like, and I was mentioning Patrick Berry, who's kind of the best example of I just think a perfect grid maker, and every bit of fill is wonderful, but also
Ooh, bit of a lag here.
Yeah. Sorry,
And-
we missed
and-
that last part, David.
It cut out a little bit there. Who are you? Who else are you referring to?
Eric Agard.
Eric Agar,
Yes,
of course.
absolutely.
One of the other goats, and at such a
Yes.
young age too.
Yes,
Right.
at such a young age, and he in his puzzles. I know he's doing puzzles now for
USA
is
Today.
The Post. Oh, USA Today.
Yes.
But his puzzles that he's done for the New York Times
He's
were
I'm sorry. if you don't-
refreshing, refreshingly refreshed.
Yes, absolutely. And he's not just the constructor for USA Today. He's now the editor of the puzzle.
There you go.
That's a new
He is
job
the-
for him. So congratulations, Eric. All right.
Deservingly so.
Okay.
Couches looks like settees to me.
Okay.
Yes,
That sounds good.
Yes.
Okay,
Indeed.
and so there are some extra T's floating around here. So he wasn't
There
able
are.
to completely eliminate all T's from the grid.
We can let Alex know that he let you down.
No, you know what? He let me up.
Yes. But you know what? It seems to me like you really are enjoying the theme.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. How about this one? 34 across plus.
Okay. So I want it to be and.
Okay.
And that plus now is a thing. Like,
It's just distracting.
Right.
it's a thing because it's
it's a
plus
sublim-
and there's a plus and
It's a subliminal message.
yeah. Well, I guess we could look at 23 down now because it's got the double T's.
Yes.
For one thing.
So for one thing, to start, perhaps.
Wow. Well done.
That is
Indeed.
great.
That's that was not easy to parse. The multi-word ones when 2 letters are removed. I mean,
Yes.
you've got the deck
Absolutely.
is stacked against you. That's
Okay,
It can be
here-
tricky.
Here's one that people had a bit
22
of a problem
across.
with. Because 22 across. Thank you.
Spanish boy's name related to the 6th month of the year. So that's going to be June.
Right.
I think it's going to be Juno, like Juno Diaz.
Very good. Very good. For some people couldn't picture the name Juno. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why.
We could have gone, I think, with Juno Diaz. We didn't want it to be for a particularly tough. We wanted to go the more generic route with an extra hint,
Yeah.
instead of
Right.
making for a tough crossing, say with 13 down,
Right.
Especially when the T's hidden. So
I
Yeah.
think, listen,
tough.
the thing, David Kwong and I talk about this all the time. The one thing that drives me nuts when I encountered in a puzzle is a trivia cross of any kind.
Yeah.
Even if it's easy trivia, I just think it's bad.
Right.
that's fair.
Yeah.
And the puzzles are edited carefully for that. You know,
Yes.
We try.
sometimes you can't help it, but
But in this case,
much
that
as
the
possible.
fact that you include the 6th month of the year, and I think Spanish boy is because Juno with a T, is that like something that is like a diminutive of a longer name, or because say boy is as opposed to male, or
Maybe I actually stumped me.
not
We'll
sure.
ask our fact checkers.
yes. Yeah.
Put the fact
If
checker.
anybody
That's it.
out there knows who's watching, please weigh
Please
in.
chime in.
And a lot of people are doing really well on the puzzle
We
in
do.
the
We
comments.
see your guesses here, solvers. We just want we're moving right along as we can.
Ella Kid Paul 99 says these are not even real words.
Wait,
Well,
Ugboa is not a word.
Ugbo and rifle.
Look, it seems fine to me.
Right.
I grew up. in-
Ripple is a contraction of when your apple is ripe. Is that right? Okay, there you
It's actually it's a gun that fires apples.
go. Exactly a rifle.
Oh
Like a T-shirt gun. How about this?
The
this
spicy Indian fritters. Is it
Racking your
is it- It's Bajis? Is it
You got
Bajis?
it.
Wow, that's great.
But now the question is, how do you spell bot? Is it BHA?
You got it.
It is.
You're absolutely
It
rolling.
is.
Now go back to 18 across.
Okay. Now we have more than 18 across, more than some.
This is the reaction I was looking for.
Yeah.
More than some.
That's
It's
okay. You're going to kill
A
yourself.
blank. A lot. It's a
There
lot.
we
There
go.
we go.
It is. It's a lot.
Very
In my
it
mind,
was
I
a
kept
lot.
thinking like I had an extra blank, and then I'm like, all I could hear was the word angst. Why? Brains are weird.
Yeah,
Brains
brains
are
are very
so
weird.
weird.
They
Brains
really
are
are.
weird.
Just
Okay,
calling out.
this
sorry.
one is probably pretty easy now. 2 down, bit of headwear that often has jewels. We've got ONET.
Next. No, cornet is a trumpet, isn't it? But then coronation.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking at one down was prelude.
One down is prelude.
Let's
The
absolutely.
musical themes.
And let's keep going. Let's see if we can solve it. Heated
Jane-
house for chicks.
Wonder. Okay. Well, 16 across is heroine.
Yes.
Very good.
Jane Eyre or Wonder Woman.
And am I the only person
sorry.
that finds it odd that the distaff word for heroism, heroin, sounds exactly like heroin, is almost spelled like heroin, the drug?
No.
Definitely. I'm not planning on thinking of some sort of theme revolved around.
And as a
this.
woman, yes, I agree. Okay, let's take a look at this. Cry at night.
3 down.
Right.
3 down.
That's going to be hoot, right?
Yes.
Like an owl?
Yes, very good.
And then we can go back to mince words at 4 down. See.
I like
any
this
other
one. It's what I
inspiration.
do for a living. Well, aside from writing.
Any support desk. Why? Mince words is. I'm really blanking on that
All
one.
right, then let's try this one.
Okay. Annual winter spring observance. It's not Lent. Well, there's no
Could be.
Lent in winter. I mean, is there 2 Lents?
You've got it.
Yeah.
It is Lent.
Yeah.
I guess it begins in the winter then.
I think so. Doesn't it lead up to Easter?
I guess
Yeah.
because it's what? It's a 40-day period, and then sometimes there's 30 days before Easter in the spring.
We're 3 Jews wondering what.
I was gonna say,
You know
God,
what?
yeah.
I was holding back on that, so I'm so glad you
Please,
said
you're
that.
right. This is not my.
We're all sitting here going, "What? I don't know." But look at this. We've got.
That's my favorite comment of the day.
Exactly.
By the way. Can I just say?
We may
3
have to
dudes.
clip that one.
Okay. So now IT
help.
support desk service. So one across
Does this
becomes
make
clear. It's PC help.
Very good. Very good.
How do we feel about that sort of answer? Does that feel like roll your own to you, or in the language?
It's not a thing.
No, it's not.
So,
but it is
PC
really
help
nice.
isn't a thing.
It's
Nobody
nice as
asks
far-
for PC help.
No,
That's my bad because I was the first to use that in the
That's
New York
okay.
Times crossword.
But
I rolled that one together in 2014,
it's
It's
nice
not.
as far as the
not a thing.
consonant string is concerned.
and I'm such a sucker for this.
Coronet. Oh, okay. So stupid me takes the O out of cornet, turns it into cornet, and says it's a trumpet.
Right.
But coronet
Jewels.
is connected to coronation. That
Yes.
is the answer.
You've got it.
And then the heated house for chicks, I
chicks.
presume, is a brooder. Oh, and edit is mince
Yes.
words. That's
There
great.
you
You've
go.
got it. It was hard to not say anything around editorial while you're
Right.
solving that. You know.
All right, where do you want to go next? We've
and-
got the whole top of the puzzle done. Let's keep going.
Well, I'm kind of fascinated by 25 down because we've got that double T thing going and a nice long, like true dat was
Remove
really tricky, and
forcefully.
so was to start. So remove force, tear, blank.
Okay, so close.
Oh,
So-
tear out?
very
It is
good.
tear out.
Okay.
And then we've got what
Nice.
is Iru? How do we? What's our definition for that one?
Iru is a caribou with an extra ear.
Very good. Yes.
Wonderful. Thank
It's
you.
Special. Okay, how about this one? Lure
33 down.
Tempt.
There we go.
There we
Starting and ending with T.
and an EMP, which is an abbreviation for
Employment, of course.
Exactly, an empire. Okay.
Also, what they call the members of the Empire in the latest Star Wars movie, they call them Emps.
The Emps. Mhm.
do they? Wow.
Oh, I
Okay.
thought those were more fictional creatures in Lord of the Rings.
Those would be the Ents.
Right. As opposed to the orcs, right? Which are very common
Or
in crosswords.
whenever you see a 3-letter fictional, you're like, is it Enter Orc?
Goodness.
Yep.
Lord of the Rings beast.
You have about.
Great.
Do you toss a coin? You have about a 50-50 chance. Okay, how about let's kill this one. 26 down. Go from one
place to another is transit.
Very good.
One
you
way to
are
clear
killing
transit.
this. Transit.
You don't normally see that in the verb form.
Right. And a roncy? What
That's
is our
just-
definition for roncy? Is it like a
There was the spider, Anansi. Is
Anansi?
Ronsi
Yes.
is Ronsi the spider's
it's,
brother?
it's the queen spider, I think. Like
Yes.
a Rani and a roncy.
Yes, the Rani, it's the Anansi Ransi.
Yes.
the spider princess, indeed.
Okay. Heading
princess.
into the south part of the puzzle. We're gonna pick this up a little bit.
Yep, let's zip along here.
Okay. Not interpret correctly.
Okay.
36
so
across.
36
misread.
Misread is
Misread.
correct.
Whenever I see something like that, I automatically drop in MIS. Sometimes you know about the
How
prefixes.
about I was gonna say we should work on some of the T ones because those
Okay.
give us letters when they
Yes,
aren't actually
absolutely.
there. Like 45 across, maybe.
Oh, well,
Okay.
I wanted to go to 57 down only because this is, I don't know what this says about me,
Oh,
but
no.
this is where I tumbled to the theme. So, drag.
Drag.
That has so many different meanings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like it could be like, oh, what a drag. It could be
could be.
drag. It could be wig drag. It could be, drag. And it's not like tug or,
It could be like take a drag.
oh, toke?
There you go.
That was your way into the.
Right.
There we go.
This says nothing about me that I got that That was my first entry in the puzzle.
I just learned about you. You were like, I just
There you go.
Rob 42 says puff puff give.
There you
we
go.
go.
Okay.
I like the idea of Deb's puzzle, like her grid. She just fills in OKE for toke, and then
I
just she's
accept the
done.
fact that it's drag.
over.
Yes.
I like the idea of a pun theme, like "what a drag" is something you say after just like a monster hit or
Yes.
something like that.
Absolutely. Like
There we
that.
go. These are how these ideas get started.
This is how it happens.
45 across, common sport fish.
Let's see. I wanted it to be turbo,
Okay.
but it's trout.
It
There
is
we go.
trout. Thank you.
It's trout.
Today I learned the T is silent there.
Nary
the
a
second
roo.
T.
Okay.
Now, interestingly enough, I think we should go to 47 down.
47
47
down.
across, excuse
47
me, right
across.
next to it.
Pants,
Oh,
slangily.
okay. So I think that's going to be trow, like drop trow.
Exactly.
is.
That took me a long time. I didn't think it was going to be that short.
That,
but-
we waffled over, the echo of ROU and then
right.
ROU.
Wait a second. Yeah, hold on.
Hey,
Is that bothersome? It didn't
just
really
noticed
bother
that.
us, but
Right.
that's
Here's the thing. If 44 across was to
ROU.
wallop
Route.
sport in the
rue your boat.
yes, then we would have had roo. But instead, it's going to be NOT. So
Very
INO.
good. Right.
INO to match the ONI.
Because
And the inno.
to have ROU across the puzzle would just be too much messing with us.
It would be, and it's kind of hard to start 37 down with an IO, but not impossible.
Not
IO
at
error.
all.
Ion,
And feed
ion beam. David Kwong used that in his Utah puzzle, actually.
Okay.
Then it's no good.
No. It's not going to be in our puzzle then. Get with the program.
37
Question mark.
down?
37 down. Let's see.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
37 down is get with the program and question mark in. Well, that could be many, many things.
Okay.
I'm not seeing it immediately. Let's
Then
take a look
let's
at
move
48
on.
across, perhaps.
48 across.
48 across. Bit of foppish attire.
Higher. Well, that's another T. That's going to be a. Ooh. I almost had cravat there, but that's
Right.
not going to
You're
work.
on the right track.
But yes, you were definitely in the neighborhood.
You are hot.
Scarf, cravat,
Very
No, I
Freddy,
do that too.
Scooby-Doo.
Sam
Yeah.
is too young for that, but I
Here we
definitely,
go.
I do that. The word is just right there. Let's try something else. How about 53 across? Brave and determined.
Brave and determined. Not immediately.
Okay. Well,
that's-
that's okay. That's all right. It's okay to bounce around the puzzle. This one was hard for me. I didn't realize that this was a thing.
50 across, Greg.
50 across, drum kit by another name.
Okay, so that's going to be, I'm guessing set.
You've got that?
Okay.
And then, not like tubs.
Nope.
No,
I'll be honest, I'd never heard this before.
neither had I.
But I'm not a drummer, so.
Right.
Trap set?
It is trap
Very
set.
good.
Yeah.
No
So,
problem.
yeah, there's a kind of a, yeah.
Sometimes there are
That's-
just things you pull out of nowhere.
I will say, well, I used to, I'm an amateur drummer, took drum lessons and played.
Hey!
Right.
And I remember some like very old people referring to it as a trap set. This is not,
That's okay.
you will not find a lot of kids on the street who know trap set.
No, trap means something very different now.
Trap's a genre.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of people are getting 48 across, including
Okay.
MC Dendis and
You know what?
something cheeky.
Why don't we, since I've been such a jerk about it, I will accept help.
Okay. So Craig is calling a friend. Let's call an MC Dendis.
MC Dendis, something cheeky, RKO, Tarek. Many others say Ascot.
Ooh,
Ascot
Ascot.
is exactly what it is.
very
So
good. So that's
great.
okay.
And you know what? That's a tough one
It
because
is tough.
you just don't. I know it's the way the syllables line up there. That's a really
Yeah.
tricky one. So
It is.
Because then with 36 down, MIA, 3 letters,
There's-
and it's
yeah.
not Mia Moore.
Miasma.
It is.
There's only one thing that could be.
Is there an airport with an SMA? Because now there's a theme of a Miami airport and an SMA airport becoming a miasma.
I like
We'll work
this.
on that.
Yes. What can
We'll work
SFO be part of? That's going to be tough.
Sforza.
Sforzando.
There you
Sforza.
go. There you go. All right, guys, come on. We gotta keep this going.
52 across. Not so brave and determined.
As opposed to 53 across is brave and determined. This is not so brave and determined.
Not so brave and determined.
Starting with a T.
Well, maybe an ER perhaps, but I don't think. No, that wouldn't be right. It would be timid.
That's the one.
There you go.
Well done.
Very nice. Okay.
I'm id. Nice.
I'm
it.
Capital of Albania.
52 down, crossing that first I. T-I, and then 4 letters.
Tirana.
Very
Yes.
good.
Now, there are 2 spellings here.
There you go.
This
We're
is going to be
almost
the one that
done.
ends in an E.
Where would you go next?
We'll save you.
Oh, this is Tiran.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was-
T-I-R-A-N-E.
How about this one?
E.
Texas City on the Mexican border.
38 down.
With 38 down. Texas City on the Mexican border is so.
This
Oh.
is a tough one.
That one was really
tough.
We've never used this
So
answer
you know
in a
what we're
crossword.
going to do? We're going to do some of the crossings.
Let's do it.
We did
Shakespeare
56
contemporary.
across.
56 across. Shakespeare contemporary is Marlowe.
It is Marlowe.
Excellent.
That was easy. And then 60 across right below it. That should
Long
be.
time today forecaster. Who else could it be but America's favorite Al Roker?
There you
Al
go.
Roker apparently
Shout
was
out to Al
commenting
Roker.
on today that he had seen his name in the puzzle and was wondering how
That's
often
right.
his name had appeared.
Yes, and
9
what was the
times
answer?
for
9
you
times?
saw
Nine
out there.
times.
For his full name?
For his curiously, 9 times for his full name, 8 times for just his surname. I guess
Right.
people just prefer Rover
Yeah.
or
Well,
Toker.
although K is a
Toker.
pretty valuable letter in the crossword.
Scrabbly.
And Scrabble.
Yeah. Plus, if
Okay.
you're in a jam and you need an L and an R together
There you go.
like that, I think Al Roker.
All right, let's get with the program, guys.
37 down.
Yeah.
We're jumping back.
Get with the program. Install. I would
Yes. We're talking about a
That's-
computer
I
program.
don't. Okay, I don't love that clue
That was
Okay.
pretty forced.
because get the
stretchy.
program. I mean, get with. It's
Yeah. Because you're
It's-
not getting with it.
You
You're
really gotta squint.
Right.
It's okay.
you gotta. Split
we
one.
we,
That's
we,
okay.
are, we feel your pain.
Right.
How about
How about friendless down at the bottom, 62 across, starting with
friend.
an L?
I would think lonely.
Yeah.
is lonely? Aw.
Okay.
So then, Coro perhaps, or
Yes.
It is Socorro.
It is. It's so
Not to be
Coro.
confused with a Sirocco
Right.
or
exactly.
a Sakaro,
or Sakura.
the movie.
Yes, Sicaria.
Yes. Brave and determined. This
Okay.
is an unusual way to describe it, but
53
Is it
across.
stout?
It is stout.
stout.
And I really like that 49 down is Toulon. That's a really interesting
the
way to
French
use that
port.
T.
How about
I
this one?
assume 50 down is, it's trowel.
Trowel.
Has to be.
Exactly. Good. Look at us picking up speed.
We're moving. We're
Window
cruising.
dressing.
Drapery 39 down. That was
Yeah.
easy enough to do there. Oh, we've got a nice long T and T one here. You'll never beat my score.
54 across.
Oh,
Top that.
Top
There you
that.
go.
That's a fun answer. We like
you're
that.
you're really you're crushing this. Okay, Midnight Children, novelist, 1981.
Rushdie.
Rushdie.
Yes.
Rushdie. And Indonesian money would be
40 across.
I you know what? I'm
Yeah,
not-
this was a tough one.
How about 41 down? The first country to establish Christianity as its state religion.
Right.
Armenia.
Very good.
Here we go.
Armenia. And I know that because many Armenians have told this to me. This is
So you
something
have
Yeah.
confirmation.
and they want you to know it too.
Yes.
Armenia is the answer. Sailor. So 42 down is sailor vis-a-vis a sail.
Yes.
Hoister.
Yes.
Very good.
Well, honestly,
see
when we
that word
have
very
those
very
weird-looking
often.
vis-a-vis clues, sailor versus, it's
Yeah.
going to be some ER thing that we're trying our
Exactly.
best to illustrate.
And I
without
assume
being boring.
Indonesian money at this point are rupiahs.
Very
Yes.
good.
Rupiahs.
The hoisters are basically people who are really into petards.
They
40
are necessary for petard work.
Yes. Lathers up.
43
That's-
down.
Sudzes?
Yeah,
Suds
there you go.
curiously enough.
Okay.
Sudzes.
For those of us who are over 40, 58 across, comedian Jimmy.
Durante.
There you
the
go.
Yeah,
The
that
schnoz.
no idea.
I know.
Wherever you are.
I need every crossing for that.
Big and we don't want to miss out that 55, we fix it with crosses, but 55 across lock, that's a really good clue for tress.
Yes. Very
Rest.
much. Because
61
otherwise
across.
it would have been the same as 26 across trees. And lock is a very hard clue, but that's a Thursday clue. You could be thinking of a door lock, but it's actually a lock of hair.
Or a verb.
Right.
And 51 down is my favorite
Yeah.
not word.
Yeah,
It
it's-
large Spencer is a tea urn.
Yes.
This
Which
is an
is
urn
here-
that contains water. An
Yes.
urn.
Yes.
You know,
An
from the
urn. It's an urn.
Steps.
61 across, ironies.
Ironies.
Yes, ironies. Now we're
And
gonna
let's-
put in this. We're gonna put in this last letter. We're gonna close the puzzle, and we're gonna open it up again just to show those who tuned in late what the theme is. Then we're gonna open it up to questions for you. All right?
Hey, we heard that. We know that
Yay!
music.
I
anyway.
know that music. So make like
Yes.
Or
Endear.
step.
Endear
Which
and
is-
trod.
Like. So that was-
there
Wow.
you go.
Have we?
and then the last of the
Uh-oh.
T ones was trod.
You
I,
got
59.
it.
I did a bad
You
thing.
did. I didn't do it.
No,
Where's
you
our
didn't
grid?
do it.
Uh,
I
We
can
seem
lend you
to-
mine.
We seem to have
Yeah.
lost the puzzle, but
Words.
we're
That's okay.
that's okay. What we had was a terrific puzzle by Alex Eaton Solners, where T's. There were 4 T's in the grid, and there
There we are. We're live. Coming at you
And
live.
Craig Mazin, our very special guest today, crushed the theme in about 6 seconds, which I think is a record. The T's have entries that continue off. So the T is the first letter in the word, Tim's for cook and curry. It's the last letter in the word, like in a lot. It's down here, tenet. They connect them, and they connect them going across, like trait. It is
and
a
riffle and ugba
and ugboa,
eun.
yes, which is actually tugboat.
Optha. Oh, I like optha. It's like captcha.
It is, and tear out and tempt. This was.
Rancy.
I don't even know how Alex was able to construct this.
I don't
and-
attempt making puzzles
without
like
making
this.
himself
This is
crazy.
frustrating to me.
But
well done, Alex.
I'm very impressed how you crushed this, Craig. You are an excellent solver. Why don't we open it up to questions now? If you have any questions for Craig Mazin, including his work, his office. If you want to see the Emmy again, I'm sure he'd be happy to show you.
It always needs a little more
And that,
polishing,
I'm
doesn't
sorry,
it?
the Golden Globe, exactly. That one, I heard it go clunk before. Is that really heavy?
This one is legitimately about 10 pounds.
Wow.
You could do
It goes-
curls with that.
Yeah, that one is,
It makes a good
That one-
paperweight.
yeah, it's just too heavy.
Okay. Well, let's see. Does
Stand by
anybody?
for questions. There's a bit of a lag.
Yes, a little bit of a lag with the
I'm
comments.
trying to think if there's anything
But people
else.
are
Just-
also amazed at the theme. And
It could also just be a total lack of interest. I mean, I never discount a complete lack of interest.
Nobody's got a lot.
Craig,
of
I'll ask you a question. When's how often do you dabble in construction these days?
So I'm trying to do it more. David, like I said, was my mentor in constructing only, and I did. I also have worked on some puzzles with Jeff Chen, who does
Oh,
the
great.
X-Word info site.
Yes, and he's a great mentor.
Fantastic guy, great mentor. So Jeff Chen and I did get a puzzle published with American Variety
Yep.
Crosswords.
The
Oh, yeah.
AVCX.
The old AV Club puzzles.
Did a kind of a cool Alice in Wonderland theme puzzle there.
So
David
you
and
are
I
a
have submitted
published constructor.
puzzles to Will. We haven't made it past the Will filter yet. So I'm working. But and every year for my wife's birthday, I will make a specific puzzle just for her to do.
Oh,
So-
there we go. Custom puzzles are the best.
And
We have a
Yep, go ahead.
question for you from our evil genius producer, M. Gamini. That's from Garrett. Are you guys going to continue making series about horrible events? Is this a thing?
And when can you tell us about your next project?
Yes. What are you
Oh.
working on now?
Sure. I can't tell you right now. I'm a kind of weirdly secretive person about that stuff. I mean, I'd never talked about Chernobyl until suddenly it was on TV. But the next thing, there is one thing that I'm working on that I'm going to be doing for HBO that we will be announcing soon because it's fun and very different than Chernobyl, but pretty cool, I think. And then will I do more horrible events? Absolutely. I don't know, not because they're horrible, but because drama requires,
Yes, and that's perfectly fine. Julia Allen, 820, is singing Albania, Albania, you border on the Atlantic. And of course, I'm old enough to remember what that's. She says, reference anyone, that's from Cheers.
Yeah, I'm tapping.
That's okay. This is a lesson for Sam.
Learned a lot about Cheers in the New York Times.
That was a song that Coach sang when he was taking a class on geography to feel smarter. And Sam, the bartender, played by Ted Danson, was asking him how he remembered everything, and it turns out he made up these weird little songs, and Albania was the first one. But to be honest, Julia, that's what I was thinking of too when I filled it in.
Do you guys a good crossword? I don't know if the New York Times would ever throw this in there, but nastier, cryptic type people do. The currency of Albania is the
lek.
You got it.
There you go.
I got you.
There we go. Very good. Is it spelled L-E-K? I hope so.
L-E-K.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. I was just guessing on pronunciation. That seemed like
be a Saturday entry. Definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's
Logan Mosley would like to know if the New York Times has published your puzzles.
Not yet.
Not yet, but we.
Yeah, I'm trying. And I think David and I we sent in a Sunday that was probably too ambitious, honestly. And so this is actually good. When I look at this Thursday that Alex did, I think this is actually a good kind of way of thinking about just a nice, clean, elegant theme that doesn't try and do too much. The ones that I remember and the ones I kind of aspire to are like. And I can't quite remember who the constructor was. Could have even been Patrick. There was a Sunday puzzle years ago that had answers that had colors in them, like, I don't know, red, and then they became flags in the other direction.
That's one. I was just talking with Joel about this puzzle yesterday. I kid you not. This was Francis Heaney's Flag Day puzzle. One of my all-time favorite puzzles.
It's amazing. And when I look at that, I'm like, I got to do something that good. I'm not sure I can.
You don't.
Fear not.
We have some more questions coming in. Somebody would like to know, were any of the Chernobyl actors also into the crossword? Did you get anybody into solving?
Absolutely none of them.
Oh, okay.
None of them.
Okay.
It was but they would occasionally wander by. I would do the Times puzzle, and then I would have printed out one of we were talking about Mark Halpin, who's one of my favorite puzzle constructors, and he does mostly cryptics, in terms of his grids,
which I love.
And he has a whole back catalog of these amazing cryptic grids he's done that are themed around Sondheim and Sondheim shows, and they are super tricky. And so people would see me on set just fiddling with those.
Speaking of which, did you know that Stephen Sondheim wrote cryptics?
Did?
I believe for the New York Times in the 70s.
Amazing. Yep.
Yeah.
He also wrote a movie that a lot of people haven't seen but should. Co-wrote it with Anthony Perkins, the star of Psycho. They wrote a movie called The Last of Sheila, which is a fantastic whodunit.
That's 15.
Right.
Well, yes, it is.
Hey! Thank goodness. I feel at home.
We have 5 minutes. Kathy O would like to know, do you solve with pen, paper, or online?
Usually I solve online. If I'm printing something out, I will solve it in pen unless it's a cryptic. If it's a cryptic, then I go to pencil because
humility.
Stuff is going to happen.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. And last question, 2 questions. Worm
Plaza.
Would like to know, what is a wild theme you've dreamed of using but haven't made it work so far?
Oh,
may not want to let that. You may not want.
I have this idea of trying to figure out how to use Morse code with the black squares.
Oh wow!
But I think it's basically impossible because black squares are there for a reason,
They'd
and
have
there
to
would be
be
like
very
a puzzle
small.
with no black squares at that point.
Craig, I'm actually going to send you a puzzle by a previous constructor that used some sort of Morse code Joe Crozel.
Okay.
This guy was Alex Eaton Saunders before Alex Eaton Saunders, and to jog your mind for ideas.
I mean, there was one idea I had was that it looks like a regular puzzle. It's obviously not rotationally symmetrical, and then at the end, the revealer is that you've got to interpret the squares to get
kind of like how we did with the. Ooh, I like that. Let's see if we got something.
Very good.
I can make it work. Maybe I'll write it up for you.
Oh, good. We'd love to see it. So Fisher Horse Girly again said her husband is Slovak. Chernobyl resonated among him and his family deeply. Did you notice a lot of reactions from that?
We did, and those are my favorite ones. I mean, when we hear from people from Ukraine or from Russia, Belarus, Poland, East Europe, Czechoslovakia, any of the areas that were affected, Lithuania, all those areas, we hear from those people. Not only do we feel good because this is a story that they lived through that we're telling, but it means that we got a lot of it right in terms of the cultural details, which we really concentrated on, because that's how you show respect for a culture, is by taking the time to get it right. So
good for you.
Got great feedback from all of our friends in Eastern Europe, and we are thrilled to hear from them, and I'm so grateful for that.
Yes. One more question. Policy Junkie would like to know, what's one classic movie everyone must watch?
Oh,
I know.
One.
That's a hard one. You could
we
go.
saved the artist for last.
One. Well, I guess if you haven't seen The Godfather, you need to see The Godfather. That feels like a touchstone of American cinema. I don't know how you get around without seeing that one. It's a pretty cliche answer, but hey, you said everyone.
There we go.
Absolutely. One more thing, we would like to invite you. I don't know if you can make it, but we would like to invite you to the American Crossword Puzzle Tournament, which is running in March. I don't know if you're available to come east, but I think you'd have a wonderful time. You could meet all your favorite constructors and even just hang out.
Well, David Kwong keeps telling me I got to go. What I'll do after the tournament, or even I think it's while it's going on, I'll do the puzzles on their online version.
Okay.
To kind of
warm up.
Yeah, and and I know online you go a little faster than normal, but I'm usually like around 80-ish out of the online people. So I feel But I mean, look, I'm not going to embarrass myself if I go to the thing. I'm not going to be up there with, Dan Fair or whatever.
No.
So,
but nobody is.
Yeah, no, or Eric.
Right.
But I do want to go. So hopefully I can make it happen this time around.
I hope you do. Listen, Craig, we are so thrilled that you took some time out to solve with us. Thank you very much. I haven't had this much fun in a long time.
Yeah, we hope we didn't slow you down on the puzzle too much.
Yes, or break your streak.
This was a great way to go. And it's been a long time since I've really, I tend to wolf my puzzles down. So this was good. I had a nice.
You had a chance to chew properly, as my mother would say.
To chew properly, exactly. So it was great. Thank you guys for having me on. It was fun.
And thank you for
Craig.
being here. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's stream. Come back next Thursday. We have, I believe, another special guest.
Oof. I listen to you for this kind of stuff.
Okay, all right.
I'll just be here at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes, right here on
Thursday.
Twitter. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel, Wordplay NYT, and it will be posted. The video will be posted with Craig's smiling face a little later in the day when we download it.
This is what we. Thank you.
and lots of award polishing. It'll be published on Wordplay, today's column, as soon as we download it. Thank you very much for solving with us and for taking time out from the news to take a breath of fresh air. This is Deb Amlen and Sam Ezersky and Craig Mazin for the New York Times. Have a happy Thursday.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, guys.